Night Against Fascism turned out in protest at a rally by the right-wing group, the English Defence League. About 4,000 people have descended on the town. Police say the trouble is unacceptable. Let's go live to Bolton. Sky's Tom Parminter is there. Are things getting under control now, Tom?
Yes, they are. The police are gradually emptying this town of what was between 3,000 and 4,000 protesters, split between these two different camps. Quite a familiar scenario that we saw here, because we've seen it in other towns and cities over the last year. A number of groups within the EDL, a number of factions all gathering on one side of Victoria Square in Bolton, and on the other side, the Unite Against Fascism side, all sorts of different groupings and trade union allegiances and left-wing allegiances in that group. And at times it was pretty violent here, as we have seen in other demonstrations in other parts of the country. There was violence, there were arrests. About 55 is the current total, with the Greater Manchester Police telling us that this has been a very challenging day, but they are largely satisfied with the way that the policing operation has gone. An awful lot of police officers here in riot gear with police dogs, police helicopters, to try and make sure that the situation stayed under control. And yes, it did flare up in different parts and there were violent clashes, but largely the police have stayed on top of what happened here and will be just looking further forward in the future to the next demonstrations, because the EDL say that they will continue to carry out these demonstrations, and enormous policing costs that are involved in all this. And of course, the disruption. This was anything but a normal Saturday for the people in Bolton, as their town was taken over by police officers and demonstrators on both sides.
Okay, thanks, Tom.